You're looking at the Yingxian Pagoda, a 1,000-year-old lunar tower in Shanxi, China. No nails, no steel hold it together. I'm Xiaoyao. Let me show you why this tower still stands.
Stone crumbles. Steel rusts. Iron bends and dies. Yet this timber tower still stands, nearly 1,000 years on. Hidden in those walls, a column that never touches the ground. It just floats, holding up the whole tower above. By the end, you'll never look at a simple piece of wood the same way. It stands in northern Shanxi province, in China, 67.31 meters tall, the tallest all-wood building the world has ever raised. 9 hidden floors nest inside what looks like only 5, a trick of framing that hides a whole inner world from outside eyes. Measure it against the Leaning Tower of Pisa, world famous for leaning. Against the Eiffel Tower, an icon of iron and steel. This one beats both of them, and it was built centuries before either was even imagined. No crane. No concrete. No metal frame. Just log upon log, shoulder to shoulder. And legend has it, the whole tower sways on its base like a great clock, gently, all day, every day, as if the wood itself were breathing. Here's the part that sounds insane: there is not a single nail. No metal pin, no glue, no bolt, nothing but wood meeting wood. 2,600 tons of red pine, 312 massive logs, locked together by nothing but carved joints, the kind builders call mortise and tenon. 54 different kinds of layered brackets, the dougong, 480 of them in total, stacked like a giant three-dimensional jigsaw that has held for 1,000 years. Each bracket spreads the weight of the floors above across the whole frame, so no single piece ever carries the load alone. It is like building a 67-meter tower from a puzzle of a million wooden fingers, each one gripping the next. And some say the columns take turns resting, each one leaning out of the weight, one at a time, like soldiers rotating guard. Again and again, the world has tried to break this tower. More than 40 earthquakes have shaken it, from the Yuan dynasty, through the Ming, right up to the modern era, and time after time it refused to fall. In 1926, during the warlord battles, over 200 artillery shells slammed into these beams. Hundreds of scars still mark the wood today, pockmarks you can see with your own eyes. Around it, stone temples crumbled to dust. Brick walls collapsed into rubble. And in the middle of the chaos, this wooden tower, built from nothing but logs and joints, stood its ground, when buildings made of stone could not. How can that be possible? How can wood, softer than stone, survive shocks that shatter granite? Some say the answer is simply that the tower refused to fall on purpose, as if the wood itself chose to hold. So how does wood beat the earthquakes that shatter stone? The secret is a brilliant flexible cage, 2 rings of wooden frames nested one inside the other, 24 outer columns and 8 inner ones, joined at every level by brackets that hold them loosely enough to move. The dougong act like giant shock absorbers. When disaster hits, the interlocking brackets bend, absorb the energy of the quake, then spring back into place, the way a tree bends in the wind instead of snapping, the way a dancer rolls with a fall instead of fighting it. This is the principle of seismic isolation, and ancient Chinese builders mastered it, 800 years before modern earthquake engineering was even a field. Engineers today study it with awe. They run simulations, they build models, and they keep finding the same answer: the design is so resilient, it nearly designs itself. The ground shakes. The tower sways. And because nothing is rigid, nothing breaks. And some say the joints breathe with the earth, flexing, exhaling, holding, so the whole tower moves like a living thing rather than a rigid cage. Inside this miracle waits one more surprise: an 11-meter gilded Buddha, ancient murals faded by 1,000 years, and sealed scriptures hidden in the walls. The Great Hall where the Buddha sits is itself a work of art, its ceiling carved and painted, its beams wrapped in color, its walls telling the stories of a faith that once filled these corridors. A treasure that nearly vanished during chaotic times, and survived, by luck and by stubbornness, to reach us today. Legend has it that if you removed a single beam, the entire tower would collapse, and nobody has ever dared to test it. Not once, in 1,000 years. That is not curiosity satisfied, it is respect. Pure, silent respect for what wood and patience, belief and hands, managed to build. And now, the twist that keeps engineers awake at night. This tower is tilting right now. The second floor has shifted 580 millimeters. As of the latest monitoring, a lean you would never see from the ground, and yet it is real, and it is growing. Modern engineers from around the world have studied it, run the numbers, built the models. And most of them dare not fully repair it. Why? Because they are afraid our fixes might destroy what 1,000 years could not. A wooden wonder, too fragile for modern hands to touch. Millions fly to see the Eiffel Tower and the Leaning Tower. But this is the only great tower made entirely of wood, and it stood 800 years before the Eiffel Tower was even imagined. Stone leans. Iron stands. Wood endures. Have you ever heard of this wooden tower? Most outside China haven't. Tell me below, and subscribe to Deep in China for wonders few foreigners see. Coming next, the cliff-hanging temple.